Hello, everybody. I just wanted to share here a brief video about a topic that I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering about. And the reason I feel like we need to talk about this is because, first of all, it's something I've been asked a lot lately. And also, I think there is a little bit of confusion of what is going on in the real estate industry. And this is about post-COVID. What has changed? And it seems like everybody has this information. Is this a good time to invest, or should I wait, or what's going on, right? Because we all agree things have changed. It's a hot market right now, and is one of those things where hot market, the prices are up. By the same token, there are great opportunities out there, and then we feel that everybody is competing for the same properties. I'm sure you agree with that, right? Either you are a real estate investor or a real estate agent, you see what is going on. So I want to share with you a couple of things here that, first of all, when we went into this about a year ago and everything got shut down basically overnight, I did a series of Facebook Live talking about basically wait, just wait, and things are going to get back on track. And actually, we're going to go even exponentially more next year, because I remember when we in the past had situations like the war in Iraq in 1991, I was in real estate already. Then we had 9/11, and then we had 2007 with the housing crisis and other things that were like really shocking to the system. Real estate kind of went flat for a minute, but then it went up like crazy. And so that's what has happened right now. It seems like there's a shock in the society and the economy, and then real estate actually is even better than before. It's more stable, right? But the thing is that we're seeing this time, and yes, we've seen this before. Like I remember when the war in Iraq was about too, you couldn't even find anything on the MLS after a while. Everything was such a tight market with the supply. And that's what we're seeing right now as well. So I want to share with you here in this Facebook Live a couple of tips, a couple of ways that I think that you guys need to think about on where to get properties now, because they're still out there. They're out there more than ever. There are distressed properties out there. But I think that everybody's conditioned to think that there is such a scarcity right now of properties that the sellers are not willing to sell or negotiate, that you're not thinking about what is really going on and how you can reinvent yourself. Because if you are a true real estate investor, okay, you are an entrepreneur, you are pretty much programmed to think outside the box. You're thinking about, okay, how can I do this different? How can I do better? How can I be a thriving survivor? Because if you see anybody out there that has been successful, in any type of industry, you hear only the victories, right? But you don't hear the struggles that they did, the doubts and the fear they had to go in between to get to where they are. So I'm here to just say to you that don't give up right now. There are great opportunities. I've actually made more money in times of changes than any other time in the industry. Okay, you just have to reinvent yourself. So a couple of things I want to share. So let's get to it. One of them is right now your focus should shift away from the bigger cities. Okay, go to the smaller cities, because what's happening is a lot of people with remote working, social distancing, a lot of people don't want to make the move into the big cities right now. They don't want to be around a lot of people or a lot of crowds. There is a lot of attention that's brought into the smaller city. And when I mean smaller, I mean maybe 100,000 population. I used to say 200, 250,000 or more. Right now, 100,000 is good. And go for the little older suburbs, older subdivisions, the ones that were built maybe up to the 80s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, that right now probably need to be revamped. There is some work that needs to be done, but they're still affordable. So not the newer subdivisions in the suburbs, but kind of the older ones. And also what you're going to find into these smaller communities, the sellers are nicer. Yeah, so they're going to be nicer to talk to. It's just more a laid back attitude. And I don't know, I think it's just a whole better environment. And right now is a lot less competition. The second thing I want to say is go for quality instead of quantity. Okay, over the last few years, and I was never really a big advocate of that, of these investors going for thousands and thousands of leads, buying these huge 10,000, 20,000 leads a month, and taking them through this, automations of really processing all these leads. And then I found out that, it's just like the numbers, your marketing, your cost, getting these VAs, getting these callers, training these callers, and all so forth was prohibitive. I mean, you would have to do 1 or 2 deals a month just to pay for your marketing cost. And it's stressful, right? Because you're really banking on something that you don't know. So what my focus was like, no, I really don't believe in doing it that way. I'm more about quality instead of quantity, okay? So, and one of the things, and I'm sure a lot of you that have maybe bought a list realize that when you call these leads, they're gonna be arrogant, they're gonna be mad with you, they're gonna say to you, you're the 10th person that calls me this week. So it's really not, seems like productive. So what my suggestion is that you go back to really finding more, be a little more proactive as far as getting your leads. I always say that the best leads are the ones you create yourself, number one. So for example, the old driving for dollars. Right now, honestly, I've gone back to doing a lot of driving for dollars. We don't do as much as one of my students does it every morning, and he gets amazing deals. He just closed on 2 wholesale deals, making over $30,000 on each. But you don't have to do it every day. But if you want to do it, we do it about once every 10 days or so. But those are the most responsive leads because we get to these properties before anybody else gets them, right? Before they go on any list. And the other thing is we use apps like DM Machines or HomeSnap to take pictures of these properties, so then we have a visual. So if the seller says, or when we talk to the owner and he says to us, yeah, and I'm interested in selling, and I see that the house is falling apart, I'm gonna say, okay, why not? At that point, you have nothing to lose to ask him why you're not interested in selling as an eyesore, right? You don't say it like that, but you know what I mean. And so you can have a more of a conversation, so you don't seem like somebody that just got a random address somewhere. You actually got more interest because you know where the address is and you actually saw the property. So it's a totally different quality of conversation. And so that's really important. So that's one way. Another way is a lot of, depending on where you are, a lot of the counties or states are lifting the moratorium on evictions. And so I'm seeing a lot of these landlords that are tired and frustrated. Now they need to start making payments to the banks, or they already start making payments. They have all these rents not collected for such a long time. And there's work that needs to be done on the property, and they just want to get out of it. I'm running across a lot of distressed landlords. They're tired of it. And so that's the second thing. The third one is you can get, again, there are going to be foreclosures coming up more and bankruptcy. Unfortunately, some people have not had it as good as some others during these times. So I would definitely keep an eye on those. But again, take the time of having quality over quantity. And so you'll have less leads as far as number, but they're better quality leads. And so for you to get a deal out of 20 or 30 should actually be the norm, okay? Now, the third thing I want to say is about really taking the time to go after these leads. What I'm saying is, forget the big machine of, you can still use it to some extent, to kind of text everybody in bulk, at least do a run of those. But the thing is, especially the leads that you don't seem to find the phone number through the regular methods of skip tracing or so forth, then, sit down and closely look at those leads, okay? The ones that you seem to have all the wrong numbers or you can't find the owner for some reason, just take the leads, Google it. I always say, get your private investigator hat on, right? Google it and go on social media, see if you can find something about this person and really take the time to dive deep into it. And the other thing is, there are private investigators out there that you can hire that actually do the type of research for you. They're anywhere from $50 to $100, but some of these leads are worth pursuing. Let's say you come across a house that, as you look like, has been abandoned forever, and you can't get hold of anybody, and you exhausted all your resources to find this person. Do something about this, right? Those are the ones that are going to get you the most profits, because most investors have given up on those. They don't want to have this waste the time to do that. And there are people that own these properties, they don't know what to do with them. They even forgot they had them. Maybe they inherited that, right? So that's the thing that you want to do. Dig deep into your quality leads, and you will find more deals with honestly less stress in smaller suburban areas. Okay, so basically these are the tips, because right now with everybody changing the way they're going to do business, like I said, a lot of people tend to gravitate into smaller areas, stay away from the city, they can work from home. So this is actually becoming the new market. And like I said, the mentality of people into the smaller areas is always going to be better, especially for a newer investor. Okay, so, and you can do wholesaling, you can do fix and flips, you can do rentals in these areas, so you can still do all of them. If you're wholesaling, obviously your end buyer is going to be either a rehabber or a landlord, or you're a rehabber yourself, so that does not make the difference there. So hopefully this helped you here with these tips here. Just wanted to kind of clear up the confusion, and this is what I'm seeing on a personal level. This is what I am doing right now on a personal level. So it's not just speculation to say, oh yeah, this is what is going on, this is what I think is going to happen. No, this is what is happening right now throughout my investing process. So I hope you found this helpful, and make sure you give us any feedback. If you have any questions, we're always looking for ideas for more podcasts, and I hope to talk to you personally soon. Take care.